With Monsterverse right around the corner, I knew I wanted to do a couple of videos of Royal High before my attention completely shifts towards that game that's going to be releasing Friday. At least I'm hoping. I know recently Roblox went ahead and temporarily removed Monsterverse from Roblox, so I don't know what the situation is going on there. I don't know if it's fixed or not. So by the time you're seeing this, it's probably already back up, but I'm hoping that doesn't delay the release of Monsterverse coming this Friday for me. Also letting you guys know that there is time zones for these things, so it might be released Friday for you, it might be released Saturday, it might even be released Sunday. I don't think so, but it really just depends on the place and time zone. But for me, it's going to be this Friday at 7 p.m. So I'm hoping the date doesn't change because of everything that's happened with Roblox and that whole situation. Honestly, there's not too much to talk about. Obviously, Roblox needs to fix their little moderation system or whatever, because it's clear that whatever they're using isn't working properly. But I wanted to do another Royal High hot takes. Now, these hot takes are pretty recent, and I did go ahead and post on my community tab to ask your Royal High X. So let me know down below your Royal High X if you want to comment on that or this video, so I can make a video about it. But in today's video, we're just going to do some more Royal High hot takes, because I think there was some that I didn't actually get to finish from last time, but these are the most recent hot takes that I can see. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, these ones are pretty long. The first one says, I'm tired of your ungrateful complaining about anything and everything in the game. Sure, some stuff does suck, some stuff could be better, but come on. When you get the mermaid tails, you're all excited, but now the novelty is gone for you, so you're like, they suck now. I get that they are pricey, but that doesn't mean they're bad, bro. Any new update changing general gameplay can be annoying, like the map changes, but like you can go back to the other campus if you'd like that one better. And everyone who complains about no roleplay anymore, that's because of you. You are choosing not to roleplay and then complain that the game doesn't have good gameplay and maps for roleplaying. First, it's we can't RP in this map because of the auto classes. Then they make it so you can choose when you want to go, and then you start acting like they are forcing you to roleplay. Barbie isn't a saint, but it is her game. You are not entitled to get anything you want from whining enough. Make your own game if you have so many grievances. Just shut up for once. Obviously, there's a lot of takes from this specific one that I agree with. I do try to be positive with most updates that Royal High gives us, like with them removing the auto class join or whatever. That was a very annoying thing to have. And for her to go in and basically have it where you can choose to have it to auto send you to class or not, or silence it. So I really like that small update, even though I'm still not a huge fan on the new campus. Like, it is too small, it is cramped, but I don't think I hate it as much. I do like that even though it's a very small campus and it's basically half the school, you basically get to interact with the world around the campus. Like if you want to sit on the lounge chair or play the piano, you get experience for that. You get compensation for interacting with the world basically. So I love that new mechanic, because in the previous school before this one, that wasn't the case. Like you would sit at lunch and do this, that, and third, doing basic things like drinking at the water fountain. You get XP or you get diamonds. I can't remember right now, but you get some sort of compensation for doing it, which I like. The mermaid tails are expensive. I haven't gotten any new mermaid tails since I finished the quest and since it's been released. And to be honest, the prices aren't even that bad. For some of the tails, the prices range from like 10 to maybe 20k at most. Some that are like legendary or rare or uncommon, I can expect those to cost a little more. But for like the more average kind of tails, they don't cost that much. Like the ones that I've been seeing are like 19k. And if you have the diamond multipliers and you're doing your dailies and stuff like that, you're able to acquire enough for a tail if you wanted to. So I'm not complaining about the prices or anything. I feel like the prices are pretty much reasonable. I do feel like I should be able to have like a shop to just buy tails whenever, instead of having like a time limit to buy a certain item before it refreshes again for the next day. game. I understand with like Halos and stuff like that, that if you don't get it on the day that it was on, then you just miss out and you have to wait until it refreshes again to that. But I do wish that was the case. But just because I wish that was the case doesn't mean I'm complaining, or doesn't mean that I'm having issues with it. Like I said, there's a lot of things in pros that I named about the mermaid update that I like, and there's a lot of things that I wish that they could improve on. But am I gonna sit up here and gripe about it? Because it is what it is. The map changing, as I said before, the old campus, I do wish that we can have the option to have both campus 4.2 and then 4.3, but considering that 4.2 turned into 4.3, there's no way for me to go back to that campus, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, like, you can sit up here and complain about these things all you want, but it's not like Barbie's gonna go in and give us back the old campus. A lot of people have been complaining about Wickery Cliffs and the New Year's events and stuff like that, and it's like, we can complain about it all we want, but unless they bring in a new event that year, it is what it is, you know? Overall, I do feel like a lot of people do complain to just complain. I mean, I understand there's certain things that do suck in the game that are bad, that need some improvement, but that's with every game. Every game needs to improve. Every game has things that you may not like, and that's completely fine. You know, like, there's ways around it. You don't have to play it. You can just play something else or move on. You know, like, instead of constantly complaining about what you don't like or what wasn't in this update, try to have constructive criticism about certain things, because again, a lot of developers for this game take time out of their day to make this game fun and interesting to you, and you don't have to play it. It's not mandatory. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. The only thing I really complain about now is the new leveling system, because the old one was fine and I make less diamonds now, I feel. But it is Barbie's game and she has the right to change that. Another thing is just the prices the community uses, but with the mermaid shop, those have been getting better, so I can't really complain about that. I do feel like a lot of people complained about the farming system in the game, especially how atrocious the prices are in the game, especially for the shoes. They are pretty expensive for a kids game, because again, this is geared towards children. They are pretty expensive. The only way to get those high shoes for cheaper is to trade for them, or you can pay the full in-game price. And now that Barbie has implemented the new school, it has removed a lot of people's farming methods, because I do feel like it does get hard to farm a good amount of diamonds, especially if you don't have like any game passes, no multipliers, no flying fast pass. Like, it does take a while, I'm not gonna lie, but I do feel like it's going to be worthwhile when you do end up being able to save up a good amount of diamonds for whatever item you were saving up for. So even though I do find this an issue in some points, for me personally, I don't make it a big deal, because I never had a farming routine to begin with. Even with like candies and stuff, the only farming routine is I wait every hour to collect the candy bowls, because you get a lot of candy from waiting each hour per hour. And then for diamonds, I either trade something off for something else, or I just simply do what I need to do in the new campus to acquire enough diamonds to get whatever it is I want to get. Like, I personally don't have an issue with the farming, but I know a lot of people do feel as if that has been taken away or removed and it's become difficult, but it's not impossible to do. Like, you can definitely still grind for diamonds. It might take you a while, but it's definitely doable. Next one says, yeah, and when they finally add the sets to previous toys that everyone has been asking for, people start saying how they should stop and focus on other things. Honestly, I do agree with a point that I saw way back when somebody was basically saying how they put more time and effort into the toy sets rather than diamond sets. The recent diamond set that was released was a little bit lackluster to me. Personally, I'm not trying to say that it was bad. It wasn't bad. I do feel as if there was certain parts that, like, it seemed unfinished in the sense that it was like missing like shoes or arms, you know, like I felt like it was missing something. The set wasn't bad. The set was a beautiful set. I love the skirt and the bodice. Even though it's a very simple design, you can do a lot with it. And I love the wings, even though they're not like actual like flying wings, they're still like gorgeous 3D wings in the game. So honestly, I'm not complaining about the diamond sets or the toy sets. I know why the toy sets get a lot more attention, I feel like, compared to the diamond sets, as those are people who are paying real money for that set or whatever. So I can understand them paying more attention or giving more attention to the toy sets. That just makes sense. I do feel like they should give the same amount of care to diamond sets as well. I'm not saying that they need to make them all like grand, like the Whimsy Witch set. Even the Whimsy Witch set has certain pieces in the set that are really, really good, like the shoes, the bodice, the skirt. I think they were supposed to add like sleeves and stuff like that, but I'm not sure. Next one says, people, ugh, why aren't there tails? Also people, when there's tails that are now available free, and even the ones you can buy are very easily grindable for, ugh, why aren't they better? Quit your complaining, they're here, and now that they're here, they can use and just like older items, like old bodices with their updates toggled. They can be improved on. Just be glad they're here. Next one says, nobody ever role plays. Random person in chat. Anyone want to roleplay? Cricket. Like, it's literally you guys people trying to get roleplay started, but nobody wants to. Honestly, I agree. I do feel like for me personally, not any gripe or grievances here. The vibe is different, and maybe that's just because I'm getting older. Like, I'm not even blaming the game for this or anything. I just feel like for me personally, I'm just getting older. I don't play a lot of Roblox games as much anymore, and I'm not on this game 24/7. No fault of the game at all. When people do ask to roleplay in the chat, you can see a good amount of people role-playing in different realms of the game. But for me personally, I usually just join on, make an outfit, pose for a little bit, and leave. I feel like for me, back when I was like younger, role-playing was something that I would do on the regular, just for funsies, kicks, and giggles. But now that I'm older, I just don't think I'm interested in that thing anymore, and I just don't have time for it. Personally, I can't speak for everybody, but there are people who do take the time out of their day to say, hey, do you want to role play this, that, and third? It's definitely possible to role play, especially with the new campus. It's definitely possible to role play. I don't see why people are complaining about that. Next one says, I literally switched up my thoughts after some of the newer updates. Yeah, the XP diamond farming was made harder, which I'm still a little mad about. And there are a few things with Campus 4. I was not part of the group who asked for a new campus, by the way, such as the bathrooms not being always open, no washing machines 24/7, and there not being a headmistress office, as well as not being able to fill your needs there because farming could be so much faster with their teleporting feature. Also, I praise the Falling Leaves Festival regularly, but I have my critiques such as it being a little boring, but I'm happy it released so early in the month. I feel like this is going to be a very hot take for a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people are going to agree. Falling Leaves is not better than Wickery Cliffs. I'm always saying how I miss Wickery Cliffs. I wish I could just go back to that realm even for 1 year. Like, I really wish I could see that realm one last time before it was removed, and that was always a regret of mine. And I just don't think the Falling Leaves Festival can ever top Wickery Cliffs. I don't know what it is. I think it's just probably nostalgia at this point that I'm feeling, but obviously no hate to Falling Leaves. Like, there is some aspects of Falling Leaves that I enjoy, like the hard booth and the rides. We didn't have any rides in Wickery Cliffs. The cooking mechanic in Falling Leaves, like, there's a lot of things that they added to this realm that Wickery Cliffs never had, or they could have never thought of. And so even though I miss Wickery Cliffs and I wish I could have it back each year, I'm not hating. Like, the one thing I don't miss about Wickery Cliffs is the apple bobbing. That's the one thing I do not miss about Wickery Cliffs. But other than that, I miss the aesthetic, the vibe that it would give. Falling Leaves is just that one like fall realm, and that's basically what it is. That's what it's supposed to be given. So no hate to it. The next one says, real. And why are people complaining about the drop in value, especially for Halo? Like, nobody asked you to pay 15 million for a Halo worth 7. Plus, the leveling system is hard because values will drop over time, and they want you to play as much as you can. Sorry if this comes off as rude. Actually, I can't relate to this comment because I have never acquired a Halo for Fountain and I just don't have enough diamonds to buy a Halo. I don't really think you need a Halo to up your outfits. I do feel like if you're trading for Halos, you might get a lot out of it. I know that a lot of people recently with the Title Glow update with the mermaids and everything had to go into Tradery and trade off their Halos because they were being sold off cheaper from the mermaid shop. So everybody was trying to basically sell off all their Halos for as much as they can get it for, because essentially the Halos that were in the mermaid shop were being like downgraded by like 1 mil or something like that. Like you were missing out on some diamonds. So everybody was trying to sell off their Halos as quickly as possible. Me personally, I can't, like I said, I can't relate. Next one says, true. The only thing that I don't like is the leveling up system because it's annoying, but the tails are fine. The next one says, my problem is I really do love Royal High, but my god, they have so much, or when they fully something, it's still not that good. Yeah, it's Barbie's game, but at the end of the day, who's paying the bill? I do agree with that take. Like sometimes some updates that Barbie gives us are pretty lame. Like you can't lie. They're either bad or they're pretty lame. And then there's some updates like the mermaid update, which got everybody's attention. Everybody was trying to play the game to get their hands on the mermaid tails. I do feel like that did bring an uprise for Royal High. It brought in a lot of players that haven't played in a while back into the game because of the mermaid tails. So all I'm saying to that is Barbie sometimes has good updates and sometimes they have bad ones. Next one says, I agree for the most part. I like the toy set. I like the tails, especially the free one. And I've only bought 3 others because I just wouldn't use any others that pop up in my shop. I really meet regular players who aren't looking to profit trade, and Tradery is just kind of a nightmare to use. People constantly ask me why I declined the trade that constitutes as an overpay when I just really already have all the items or simply don't like them. I guess it is useful. I don't know where else I'd find values for my Halos. I like the new Campus 2 more often, but now the leveling up doesn't give diamonds anymore. So if you are farming, the only real way to do it is in Campus 4. I do like the toy sets. I did buy like 2 of them. The fact that I only bought it for the code, I'm not even gonna lie, but not to worry guys. The toys themselves are going to use. I do give them to my sister. I do feel like the toys though, the small toys, I haven't gotten like the big Barbie dolls like Mermia or anything like that. But I'm talking about like the small Lego type toys. They are very flimsy. I do feel like you can easily like lose the shoes or accessories, and maybe that's just how you play with them. I feel like the younger you are, you're just prone to like lose a bunch of those tiny pieces. But I do feel like there's certain pieces of it that can get lost or can fall off the actual doll itself. But I'm here to say that the dolls aren't ugly. The dolls are not ugly. They're personally not my taste because I'm not really into dolls like that, but I got it for the code and gave the dolls to my sisters, my younger sisters. So wherever they at now, that's where they're at. The next one says, yes, finally someone said it. I'm so freaking tired seeing people talking about how they are over the mermaid tails when y'all were literally begging for them. The next one says, there's not enough male toggles for items. Why is there so many male toggles? The next one says, I honestly thought it'd be a rework of the older tails and they'd be added to the shop for a large price, not a whole new set. I don't know. Actually, I don't have a problem with the tails not being a rework. I do feel like the older tails that we had are just, they're not up to par to the new Royal High. I just don't think they fit. But like I always say, I have to give props where props is due. Royal High put their foot in that Title Glow update. They really did their big one with that update. For me personally, they really did their big one. Like the tails, even like the basic classic tails that you get for free are so fluid. Like there's no like glitching here or there. Like you can tell they took their time with this update, and I'm just so grateful and appreciative for that, because there's a lot of games and companies out there that just rush an update and it's not even good. Like you can tell when a developer has taken their time on a project. And I'm so grateful and proud of Royal High for doing that, because we needed new updated mermaid tails, and I'm so glad that they took their time with it. They didn't feel rushed. They waited until it was time for it to be released, And honestly, I do feel like, in my personal opinion, that did save Royal High after the update that a lot of people, including me, did not like, the smaller campus. I'm just sorry. I can't. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. Like, I'm gonna have to. But it is very, very small. And I think that makes it easier to find a couple of things. Like, once you get used to it and know where everything is at, it becomes more bearable. Okay. Before, I literally could not find where anything. I didn't know where the wheel was. I didn't know where the dorms were. I didn't know where the office was. I didn't know where anything, even though the map was half its size. I didn't know where anything was. Everything felt very, very new to me. But now that I've been playing for a while and I know where everything is at now, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's still not my most favorite map, but it's not as bad. Like, I can deal with it. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Like I said, let me know down below your hot takes of Royal High. I do feel like a lot of us can agree in the comments. And these are just my personal thoughts and opinions on Royal High so far with the new update, falling leaves and everything. And I just want to clarify that this isn't me like hating on the game. There's a lot of things that I feel like I critiqued on and felt like they should do better on, and things that I just personally don't like, or just, it's just me issue. Like, it's nothing at game's fault. It's just a me issue. But like I said, over time, I got used to it. I got over it and moved on. At the end of the day, like I've always said, it's just a game. It's not a big deal. If there's something that you obviously don't like, don't hesitate to voice how you feel in a very calm and respectful manner. Like, we don't want to be rude or disrespectful to developers or people who have different opinions than us. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye everyone.